Well, there are a lot of mouthpieces in the world already, and a lot of them have lovely sounds and good articulation and all that, but one quality that almost all mouthpieces have in common through a shared geometry is that the harmonic series is compressed, and that means that if you get your middle C in tune, your upper register is going to be increasingly flat the higher you go, and your lower register will be increasingly sharp. The low end being sharp is more manageable because you can just sort of bend the pitches down a little bit. It takes away stability, but it also gives you a nicer sound. But the upper register being flat is a really big problem. In my opinion, that's a deal breaker. And because you have to squeeze and manipulate and pivot and do all kinds of things that you normally wouldn't have to do to compensate for that. And that has adverse effects on your tone quality, on your endurance. Having a flat upper register that's not your fault, but is your responsibility to navigate, that's a big problem. And that's one of the biggest reasons why we've embarked on this journey of making Lotus mouthpieces, is that they absolutely needed to have equal tempered octaves, and that's what we offer. That means that you can be just as physically relaxed and get to the low end of the pitch, not just in the middle and lower register, but also in the upper register. And that really, really changes the game. It gives you a lot greater sense of stability, accuracy. Your tone quality is improved because the higher on any given pitch you're playing, the smaller your sound is. It's like a triangle, and the lower you get, the more body and the fuller spectrum of overtones and stuff that you hear. So what equal tempered octaves provides for you is an experience where you can really keep the same tone quality and the same physical sensation all the way to the highest notes possible on the instrument. That's a really big deal. Ours aren't the only mouthpieces that have this intonation quality, but they are the only ones that have this intonation quality and moderate throat sizes and a more traditional approach to backbore shapes at the same time. So you don't have to sacrifice articulation quality or security in the upper register. I've been playing on mouthpieces with perfect intonation qualities for many years, but I always felt like articulation was a struggle to get the quality that I was looking for, and also just stability in the upper register was always an issue. It felt a bit more like a tightrope walk than just playing exactly the same way and getting the same exact sense of security. So it makes a big difference that these mouthpieces have that intonation quality that will really kind of set you free in the upper register and allow you to play things with a much greater sense of ease at the same time as you get to keep that really crisp articulation and some of the other tonal benefits that come from a more complex backbore shape. And that's really where we've done our innovating, and that's all of our R&D has been spent on trying to get, check every single box and make sure that the mouthpiece scratches every itch that you could have in terms of sound, articulation quality, projection. There are a lot of mouthpieces out there that are very good for perhaps one specific job, but not others. For instance, a big cup mouthpiece that has a rich, creamy tone that you'd love to use for something in the middle register, but would never dare to use it in the upper register because the intonation is super flat. Or a lead mouthpiece that gives you what you're looking for in the upper register, but the tone quality in the low register is disgusting. or mouthpieces that feel okay for most things on your B flat horn, but as soon as you put it into a higher trumpet of a higher key, all of a sudden the intonation is a disaster. So there are many mouthpieces that are very good at something but aren't completely well rounded, and that's what I mean about checking all the boxes. I mean one mouthpiece to rule them all, where you can put it into instruments of any key, and you can experience, for instance, a mouthpiece that has a really deep cup and has an extremely rich tone that you can still take all the way up into the top of your register and keep the exact same tone quality. So you can now Well, there are just a lot more options out there for you, where you can have a mouthpiece that gives you the tone quality that you're looking for, that lead mouthpiece will sound beautiful in the low register, and that super deep cup will give you easy access in the upper register. It's really rare, and it's the result of a whole ton of R&D time.